Hi, I'm Anthony Pham, President and Chief Interior Designer of Tony Jade Interiors and Construction. Most people know me as an interior designer. That's what I went to school for. But a lot of people don't know that I'm also a licensed general contractor in the state of California. And a great benefit of also knowing construction is that it really helps to enhance the process of design. And part of understanding construction is understanding the tools that are used to build the projects that I design. So I'd like to talk about some of the most common tools or the most frequently used tools in my project to give you a bit of an introduction if you are an interior designer perhaps who wants to better understand the process. One of the most commonly used tools in construction is called the framing nailer. Now this is used for the rough framing of walls. For example, when you see all those 2x4s standing vertically, they're connected by the nails that come out of this. The nails that come out of this framing nailer are usually about 3¼ to 3½ inches long. And the force that drives the nails into the wood for this tool comes from an air compressor, which is not currently connected, but it creates a really high impact which drives the nail into the wood. This is another incredibly useful tool in construction known as the multi-tool or the oscillating saw. This allows you to cut very, very specific cuts into tight areas, and you can reorient the blade in any direction that you want. You'll find that it's very commonly used in remodeling where people have to cut out small sections of hardwood floor or get into tiny, tight areas to notch out some of the framing in a wall, but this is extremely useful, very commonly used. And here we have the king of construction tools, which is the compound miter saw. This saw is predominantly used for cutting crown molding that you see at the top of your walls. It can change angles by rotating the entire base of the saw from one side to the other. Crown molding is commonly cut on the angle of 45 degrees, and in case you have a really large piece of crown molding, this not only can cut down on it at the angle, but also cut through the entire length of the crown molding by pushing backwards as it glides on a rail. A fantastic tool, definitely something that requires a lot of skill, so if you ever see crown molding going up, you'll be sure to find this tool somewhere on the job site. And this here is a cordless driver. This, as you may already know, is used to drive screws into wood or any other materials. This particular driver is one of my favorites because it has what's known as a quiet strike feature. Typically, when you see these drivers in action, they're making a lot of noise as they have to drive screws deep into really dense wood or other materials. This particular one makes a softer hammering motion inside and hence reduces the noise and is less obnoxious. And it's very valuable in situations where your neighbors might be a little bit more sensitive or there's occupants already in the building or if it's later in the day. So a cordless driver with a quiet strike feature. And here we have the cordless drywall screw gun. This one is a bit more of an advanced version of your drywall screw gun in that it has a tip that allows you to place a whole ream of drywall screws so that you never have to refill them one by one. So when drywall is going up on wood framing, the drywaller can just press this against the panel and the screws automatically go into the panel. And it makes the work extremely fast. It's a very, very efficient tool if you do a lot of drywalling, and so having this can really accelerate the pace of your projects. As an interior designer, I often design features that require really straight lines. For example, panels that go into the wall. One of the most important tools for cutting super straight lines in those panels is what's known as a track saw. This is a saw that glides on this metal track and allows you to cut near perfect lines in any type of wood panel product. This particular saw is made by a German company called Festool, which is highly regarded in the construction industry and is made for extreme precision cutting. It's one of my favorite tools. It's made me a lot of money in the world of construction. So as you can see, a lot of tools are used in general construction. However, as an interior designer, it is not essential to be an expert on all of the tools that you will see on a job site. It's just important to have a general understanding of what tools are used and what their limitations are so that you understand how your materials that you design with are going to be handled on a job site and the extent to which those materials can be manipulated to achieve your design goals.